Hey everyone, welcome back to Kyber Brickz. It's been about 5 months since my last video and I really can't believe that. But life has been happening non-stop. If you guys didn't know, I actually run another YouTube channel with my wife and daughter, and that is Making Magical Adventures. We do a lot of Disney content there. Also, my grandfather had just recently passed away, so also kind of like doing things in regards to that. Now, my MOC has really been declining, meaning I have pretty much taken off all the pieces. I vacuumed just because it was really just collecting dust and I wasn't doing anything with it. So I figured when I would come back to the channel, I can go ahead and just kind of really catch up in like one big video. Now, what I'm going to be doing in this video is showing you pretty much how I've made all of my base plates modular, meaning I want to be able to actually move them around and be able to work on them in sections. I feel like the way I work, I'll be able to actually physically work on it much better, just because even my workstation that I just recently developed has a lot more flow to it, and I'll be able to kind of like move base plates around and be able to work on it in different desks. So before, what I did was kind of putting pieces down, and then I realized that I have to start like kind of like going to the back, moving things around, and it just was really chaotic. So what I just recently did is, with those modular plates, I'm able to again just move them around, making my life much simpler and being able to work on it in sections, like I said. So what I have done is gotten each base plate. I was able to put a 2x2 brick and I put 4x4 plates on top. I seen this technique with a couple different YouTubers online, and I figured this would probably be the best way to actually work with it. Section by section for different videos, I'm able to do different things. But for now, this is working for me. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you exactly kind of like what I've been currently working on. I know I have a couple different things that I have recently made. I did break down that big separatist like base building, because I think with like bigger items or bigger like buildings on a smaller thing like this, it just might get overcrowded. So let's jump into the actual MOC and I'll show you guys what I've been working on. Now, the first thing that we actually have on this MOC setup is this landing pad. Now, I did add in some separatist colors. I'm still concerned if I want to swap them for maybe something different, just because like the story I'm developing now is a little bit different than we had before. But don't worry guys, I'm not going to keep changing this up. But as you can see, I started adding in a little bit of terrain around the edges, and I think I really do like that purple leaf stem thing. Might have to order some more of those. I know they're a little bit pricey on Bricklink, but I like how it kind of just like pops the color out, as well as those like little rocks that you see down there. But it looks pretty good. I mean, I put this together originally with like those IKEA bin things that you can buy there, but then I realized let's just make it like its own feature. And if you guys can actually see, you can pick this up and you're able to move it around a little bit better, and it's like an easier way for me to like work around. Plus also like when it comes to dusting, it's just a little bit better. But let me show you guys the clone side now. Here is my latest addition that I've just currently finished. It is a small portable clone barracks. So now with the scale that I'm working on for this Felucia MOC, I didn't really want to have like tents per se. So I created like this small little barracks, and I'll kind of go inside right now and show you what it looks like. But this is kind of like what I wanted to add in, as well as this little Republic container, which I really do like. This is like one of the very first things that I created. Pretty much inside of here, you can see that I created some beds, and again, just using a technique using like those hood pieces. So I created 2 little bunks. I also added in my blue milk vending machine, as well as adding in a little clone with a little station that I created with some extra pieces that I had. This line, you have a little clone armory where you got some blasters on there. But again, this is not finished inside. I figured I would just kind of like play with it and see what I can do. And also here on the front, I do need to order another slope on Bricklink to match this other side. But that's pretty much the little clone barracks. Oh yeah, and how could I forget? I want to show you guys these really cool like doors that the builder actually used. So they actually like slide open, and it uses that technique with the stud shooters, or like that missile shooter piece with Lego, so that it's like a 1x4 brick, and it really makes a really cool entrance for like doors. So these like slide open, of course on a good day, there we go, and then you can kind of like see inside as well. So that's pretty much an update on how this actual MOC is coming along. I know it's been months since we even touched this thing, so I want to be able to kind of start slowly working on this, and like I said in the beginning of the video, making it modular just will make it that much easier. That way we can actually make progress on this thing. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull out the clone barracks area, I'm going to bring it over to my other workstation, and I'm going to show you guys a few techniques that I'm going to be using for this MOC, so let's do it. When it comes to actually working on my MOC, I typically like to use brushes and stuff right away to clean the exact areas that I'm going to be working on, or specifically the segment now since I've made it modular, just because it keeps it nice and fresh and pretty much allows that dusting to actually happen instead of it just kind of collecting. So I'll pretty much go in here and I'll start to dust things off, and then from there we'll start to actually work on a little bit more of this segment. Alright, now what I'm going to be doing is removing the actual pieces that can be removed. Again, why I wanted to make it modular. And from here, I wanted to kind of show you guys, this is the same design that I actually use when it comes to like buildings and stuff, like you saw with the Separatist landing pad. Now, I do kind of leave it empty inside. I mean, I guess you could kind of tile it off, but I feel like that is wasting some tiles. So what I usually do is just add these jumper plates or jumper tiles to the corners, one in the middle to kind of like hold it all down together, and then of course where the actual bricks are at to allow it to be a little bit more stable. And everything else I usually like to work around it, but in this area what I'm going to actually be doing is creating one of those like vegetation electrified gates, I want to say, that you see in Battlefront 2. So I'm going to have that off to this side. I think it's actually going to be meeting in the other base plate, so I'm not going to do that quite now on this one. What I would like to do is start kind of adding in a little bit more of the nougat tiles and plates right here, kind of finishing this off. I'm still debating what I want to have on this side specifically, but I probably will add a little bit more rock work and stuff like that, so let's get to doing that. So that's pretty much how this process goes. I wanted to do a little bit more like on this side, but the reason being is, again, I'm not too sure if I'm actually going to be working on anything from here on out. But in this case, Felucia is quite crazy with the terrain, but in this regard, where the actual clone base is at, I wanted it to look a little bit more like it's been kind of walked on. But if you actually see like the darker tan pieces here, alongside obviously this olive, I wanted that to pretty much be a reference point of like, this is what the ground would look like untapped or untouched. So everything else has been pretty much walked through. Again, I'm going to be adding in different little elements to sprinkle along, because not all ground, of course, is even. And of course, there are places where people do walk, or clones in this case, haven't walked. So I'm going to add a little bit more kind of technique and detail with the dark tan in the future. But again, for this video, I just wanted to be a nice little update and kind of show you specifically how now I'm able to work on each little section, kind of like its own little diorama, right? And this will allow me again to work on it much easier with less complications and add in those wonderful details that I've been wanting to do. That's pretty much the gist of this video. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of how the MOC's currently looking, some updates in regards to the MOC, how I'm going to start laying the foundation, and also some life updates of why I haven't really been posting on this channel. But don't worry guys, my goal for this channel is to do a video every other week for like an update. My goal would be to do every week, but maybe as we progress, I can try to aim for that. I just want to hold myself accountable now with this specific channel, and of course the Felucia MOC series, just because it is something I am very, very excited for. So stay tuned guys for the next video. Thanks again for everything and supporting me this entire way. I know, again, I haven't really been posting anything, and I know you guys have been asking for more updates, but with that being said, I appreciate all the love and support. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. Tap the notification bell to be notified when I do drop a new video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.